Okay, my next question. How do you use what you learned in college in your everyday life?
I think the biggest thing that, they really trained us for was a mud group project. Scenarios that you had to do in every class, and that just translates so much to what I do on a daily basis, collaborating with different people on my team and externally. I think just a lot of those collaboration skills that I gained from that, and also presentation skills. I do a lot of presenting for clients in person, whether that's for business that I'm trying to get or just to educate people on what we do. So really that like public speaking aspect of it I really got comfortable with it when I was here at Rosen, because we did so much of that, as I'm sure you both can attest to.
Yeah, the group projects do teach you how to work with people and how to work along with people. Some of the things that I learned in the maybe culinary portion with cooking and with beer and wine have stayed with me to this day. Going to any kind of function or whatnot, you kind of have a good background and education on that. As well as, like you said, the presentation skills and the getting over the being nervous of talking in front of people and presenting and stuff like that is something I remember from the classroom time.
I would say there's two that I can think of right now. One of them is my LinkedIn profile. So I started my LinkedIn profile when I was in college because I think it was a requirement for one of my classes, maybe human resources management. And I use it every single day. I'm on the app every single day. I connect with people all the time. So that's one thing I use daily. The other one is diagramming software. So I took an event technology class and they taught us how to use diagramming software. So every hotel has a diagram, and then you put in, here's where the tables go, here's where the chairs go, here's where the exit is and the flow and all of that. I learned that in school, not realizing years later it's what I do every single day now with my product. So it's funny how that all happened without knowing.
Full circle.
Yeah.
So Rosen has a new senior living management degree. How do you think the skills in the traditional hospitality industry translate to other industries like senior living management?
The skills that you learn in Rosen College are not just for the hospitality, meetings and events industry, entertainment, any of those. And even senior living, it's any industry. I mean, I remember while I was in college, I would meet up with my high school friends because nobody from my high school program, my small little group, came to this program. And I would teach them, they were studying to be lawyers and engineers and architects, and they would think of me, oh, you're a party planner. You're just learning how to throw a party, because they didn't understand. But when I explained to them,
you do throw a good party.
Thank you. But when I explained to them, sales and presentation skills that we're learning, or risk management, or entertainment law, like the things that we need to know in our industry, or that we're taught in this program, surpass anything. You can do everything from being an entrepreneur, owning your own business, to senior living coordinating programs. You can do international fairs and festivals. It's endless. The things that we are taught in this program correlate to, I would say, any industry. We learn accounting, we learn finance, we learn payroll, human resources. So try to tell me something that I've not learned, because I think I know it all, thanks to Rosen. And for senior living, I did work in a senior living facility prior to Rosen College, and really it's so similar to a hotel, except the guests don't change. So you have the same people, you get to know them better, you have better relationships, you can plan events and meals based on what they like. One day you can, if you're someone's favorite color, you can theme everything into that color to make their day. And that's what it's all about, is what are those little moments that you can take into every single day to surprise and awe people. That's what we're taught here. So I think that correlates to everything.
Yeah, I think with the senior living, it's a growth market, and it's pretty recession proof. No matter what, people are always going to be in need of a senior living facility, whereas maybe travel can dip, and that's where we're at right now. But senior living is very hot. Like that's, everyone our population is aging to that point where there's going to be a lot of opportunities. So if you can get those skills in hospitality, even if you don't go right into it, eventually you can go into that, or perhaps you do that right out the bat and you can transfer those skills to anything in the industry as it starts to rebound.
Yeah, that's so smart. We're currently in a pandemic, hence the mask. And, one of the things that a lot of us learned early on, March of 2020, is your job essential? Is what you do every day considered essential by some Magic people. And you're right, senior living, they need people. You need to be there. Somebody needs to be coordinating meals and coordinating activities to keep people happy. So that's a great idea to think about, as Dave was saying, when travel is on pause.
I would also, just to tag on to that, and the essential part of it, right? I think now more than ever, people are seeing the value in gathering and being together. We miss it. So
We
I
surely
think,
do.
you know, it's gonna come back and people are eager to meet again and, you know, they're having a lot of industry people that have had to go on to other, you know, areas and their skills have transferred to more like marketing roles and business development. I mean, it really does span, like you're mentioning, a lot of different areas, and jobs, senior living, as an example.
All right, so fun question. If you weren't in your current role, what would you be doing instead?
Well, I always say it's my dream job, but I would be an usher at baseball. And I would just, I'd work in the summer and just do that. But I mean, otherwise, I think I'd be a business owner of something. You know, maybe a product versus a service like I am in. But I think entrepreneurship is what I would do anyway.
Super opposite. I'm not the entrepreneurial kind. It's funny, you know, one of the things that I love about the hospitality and events industry is the people and getting to know people and understanding them. And I've always been very intrigued by that. So I feel like if I were doing something else, maybe like something in the psychology realm, I'm just really intrigued by people. So I think I would still have a focus on that.
And I love marketing and branding, so I would maybe own an agency in marketing, helping people with their branding. I'll leave it that simple.
So, this is one of my favorite questions. What's the best advice you've received from someone in the hospitality industry?
So I don't know if this, I mean, I'm sure this correlates to every industry, but one of mine is don't burn bridges. And it is so vitally important because we've already mentioned how big the Rosen College network is. And then you think about the UCF network and then the hospitality, meetings, and events industry. Even though it's huge, you know, if you look in terms of numbers and around the world and things like that, it is a very small circle. Everybody knows everybody, or someone knows somebody. So you don't want that experience, or you don't want that reputation of they burned a bridge, however that could be. So just treat everyone with respect, do everything gracefully. You never know, like your Rosen colleague one day could end up being your boss, and then the next year could end up being your client, and that happens. So you just have to, you just have to treat everyone with respect the way you would want to be treated, because you never know where you'll end up.
I had a great mentor in my first job right out of college, and he taught me the importance of setting boundaries in your work-life balance. You know, we do work in kind of a 24/7 industry. You know, your hours are never usually normal. Like I always say, a 9-to-5 job doesn't typically exist in the events industry. But setting those boundaries and learning, you know, what works for you. Like I know that I work really well early in the morning. I'm not one, I try not to be one online late at night. So really just staying true and to yourself.
Yeah, so I would say for me is, you know, we're not saving babies. You know, someone told me that right away in the beginning, and you know, why take this so seriously? I mean, we're on a job to have, you know, our industry is a fun industry, and something people want to be in, and something people want to participate in. You know, whether it's meetings, they're usually looking forward to going and traveling to the meetings, or if it's a hotel stay or vacation, they're always having fun. So, you know, I don't take things too seriously. I mean, we're gonna have setbacks. We're currently in one, but you know, I'm optimistic. I think, you know, we'll rebound from this. We'll be great. It'll just take some time, and we'll be better than we were.
I love it.
If you had to do it all over again, would you?
Oh, 100%.
Without a
Yes.
doubt, yeah.
Yeah, I give this university and the Rosen College program so much credit to who I am today, to the people I know, to the position that I have, to my circle, my network, everything. It's thanks to Rosen College.
I agree with that 100%. I think if I went back and did it all over again, there's maybe some things that I would do differently. You know, I think I would have gotten involved with a club or, you know, like a NACE or an MPI, those industry associations that have student chapters, but I wouldn't change my experience for anything. I mean, it has really shaped me and gotten me to where I am today. So I would 100% go back and do it.
I think for myself, as a season ticket holder of the football team, that I am still actually doing it. I have not stopped doing it all over again. So I absolutely, in a heartbeat, if I got a chance to go back and do 4 more years, and I did 5 years of college, I wouldn't even hesitate. I would go right back and be 18 to 22 again and relive it. I probably wouldn't change much.
Love it.